Hello, and thank you for joining me. Today I am going to record a video to give you, hopefully, very quick, easy instructions on how to protest your property taxes here in Dallas County. My name is Ben Lauer. I am your residential realtor, and so in order to get this going quick and keep things moving, I'm just going to jump right into it. First of all, if you are receiving this video through an email, I am sending you that email because you are in our property tax registry. Thank you for being patient with me. I know some of you have been waiting for a little while on this. It usually takes us a couple of weeks to a month to protest or to run through our list of protests. So just please continue to be patient and regard this as your confirmation that you are in the list, and we are going to get to your property tax protest and send you market analysis here as soon as we possibly can. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to call or text me on my personal cell phone at 469-463-8010, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. We're going to go through the different steps on how to protest your property taxes, and hopefully it will not take you as long as this video is going to take me to record, and you'll be able to protest your property taxes quickly, easily, and successfully. So before you begin your protest, the most successful protests are always well-prepared protests. So I'm going to tell you how to gather your own information, gather your own data about things that I can't see, and then we're going to walk through filing the protest and how to actually handle your protest to be most successful and save you a trip from going downtown. So first of all, before you begin your protest, there are two ways to protest your property taxes. One is the appraised value, which is where I come in. I will send you a market analysis with all the information I possibly can muster to try and prove that your property is worth less than it is now by showing other comparable properties that have sold during the property tax protest year. I will send you that. We'll take care of that part. What I need from you is to work on your desirability rating. In Dallas County, they use something called the desirability rating, and in Dallas and Collin County, I believe in Rockwall County as well, they use the desirability rating to show individual factors that affect the value of your property that don't necessarily show up on a spreadsheet, like how big your house is, how many bedrooms, bathrooms you have, those kinds of things. So we're looking for things here like, do you back up to a gas station? Do you back up to something undesirable that's really close to your property and would cause it to sell for less if you decided to put it on the market? Are you on an extremely busy road? Is your fence possibly falling over after that last windstorm we just had? Or do you know that your roof needs to be replaced? Maybe your kitchen works great for you, but most properties that enter the market have been updated. So if your kitchen is still fully functional but looks like it's from 1994, take a picture of it. That's good evidence to show that you are discernibly different from other properties that you're being compared to. Pictures work great for material defects like fences and roofs that need to be replaced, but contractor bids work even better. So if you have contractor bids that you haven't yet fulfilled or had work done on, get those ready. We want to have these all ready and in digital format so that you can email or attach them to a form. That comes up later. So just have all that stuff ready, and then keep your eye out from our property tax information, which is going to come from BLRE, like Ben Lauer Real Estate, .taxdispute@gmail.com. You can search your inbox for that email address. Sometimes they end up in spam. So BLRE.taxdispute@gmail.com. That's where your property tax information from us will be coming from. Once you have all that information put together, next step is filing your protest. So you're going to want to go to the Central Appraisal District website for your specific county. For this example, we're going to be using Dallas County. So you're going to go to dallascad.org. You're going to look up your property in the property tax search section, and you're going to look for a blue link that should say something like, "You file property tax protest." Click on that, and the next phase in the Dallas Central Appraisal District, all my examples and specifics are going to come from Dallas County, but they should be very similar no matter where you're protesting. You're going to go to the File Online Protest, the You File Online Protest link. Click that, and it's going to ask for a PIN. You're going to have that emailed to you. Once you get that PIN, You're going to come back to the website, enter that along with a little 4-digit CAPTCHA code, and then it should let you in. When you get into the next page, it'll ask you to update your email address and all your information, and then it's going to ask you why you're protesting. For most people, the correct answer here is value is over market value. If you are just protesting based on the process that we're outlining here, based on the idea that you're being appraised too high versus the other houses in your neighborhood, that's the one you want. Once you click that, you click next, and you'll be taken to the submission page. Here you can upload bids, pictures, the market analysis that we sent you, structural reports, anything that you can give as evidence that shows that your property isn't necessarily up to the same condition as other properties that you're probably being compared to. When you're uploading the market analysis that we send you, the label that needs to go under is Other. You can upload several documents, so make sure you upload everything you need to before you hit the next button. The page will update, allowing you to give your estimation of your property value. Refer back to the email we sent you because we'll tell you about what your property tax should be, or what your property tax appraisal should be at. Understand also that this is a negotiation. So if you ask for a valuation of, say, $500, you're not going to get exactly $500. So it's not a bad idea to aim on the low end there and just make sure that you're giving yourself a little bit of room to negotiate with. You need to be realistic about what your value is. So if they're appraising you at $500, don't tell them it's $200. That'd be great, but it's not going to happen. So make sure you're giving yourself a little bit of room to work, but be realistic with what you're asking for. The estimate that we give you in that email is going to be a really good place to shoot. The page will update, allowing you to give, that's the last one, excuse me. Once you click next, the next page will ask for some updated contact information. And when you're done, you're going to click on File Protest. Once you file your protest, you're done. That's super easy. That should really take you less time than it took me to explain it to actually do it, assuming you're not uploading a ton of documents, but it's really pretty easy. Once you've done all that, it will generate an automated email that will be sent to your inbox within the next couple of days. So watch out for that. That can end up in spam too, so check regularly. Before proceeding to the next step, you need to wait to receive that email so that they have you registered in their system. Once you have that email, you can consider yourself registered in their system and you can proceed to the next step. A lot of times when you get that email, they're going to send you an automated reduction offer. So just sticking with our example, if you're appraised with the appraisal district at $500 and they come back and say, well, we'll give you $450, and you were thinking it was worth $400, you may want to proceed to the next step and try to push further. If they offer you $450 and you're really excited about that, and that's a fantastic offer, you can go ahead and accept that, and now you're totally done, and your property tax appraisal is locked in at $450, and that should lower the amount of money that you're being asked to put into your escrow account throughout the course of next year. So it will actually reduce your property tax or your mortgage payment every month, and hopefully that's exciting to you. It's exciting to me. That's why I do this. So if you don't want to accept the automated value that they give you, the next step is to call the appraisal department and speak with an appraiser. When you do this, make sure that you are respectful of their time. Know what you want and be concise. Have your documents ready in digital format. They may ask you to email them to you if they don't have them in front of them. Be ready with that. Know what it is you're going to ask for, what value you're going to ask for, and don't hem and haw. Be very specific and concise with them. They're very busy and they will appreciate that. Also, as I'm sure you can assume, you want to be nice to these people. The appraiser has a lot of authority to decide how much they give you in a reduced value, how your dispute goes, and if they're having a hard day or they just decide that you're not their favorite person, that'll affect your appraisal value. So make sure that you are courteous, considerate, kind with these people. I promise you, they are busier than you know and they're having a rough day. So be a good part of their day and it'll probably go well for you. Be confident when you speak with them, not pushy. When we send you a market analysis, know that those properties are in your neighborhood. They're similar in size. They've sold in the appraisal year that we are protesting. So they're really good comparable properties. And so we've done our homework, and you can feel confident in that. The other thing that you need to know about those properties is that it's very likely that they updated their properties. They might have painted. They might have done a little bit of work to get them into sell-ready condition. So those are things that the appraiser can't see, and that's why it's important to show if your kitchen is maybe lovely to you, but if it doesn't look like it just came out of HGTV, that's something that you can use to say, hey, my property isn't in the same condition as those properties you're comparing me to. They have no inside knowledge of that, so it's important to help them understand that. At the end of your call with this appraiser, they're generally going to make you an offer, and they're going to say, hey, after having our conversation, I think I can offer you a decreased value of, say, $430. If you go ahead and accept that, they're going to lock it in, and you're done. Say thank you, and move on with your day. You have reduced your property tax appraisal to, in this case, $430, and that will happen automatically within a little while. It'll again reduce your property tax appraisal, which will lower your mortgage payment and hopefully save you a little bit of money. If you decide that that's still not low enough and you want to keep pushing your luck, you can go on to the appraisal review board hearing. That's a lot more formal. They're going to schedule a time for you. They don't really consider if it's a good time for you or not, so a lot of people are going to miss those appraisal hearings. If you don't pick up the phone or you're not available when they call to have that hearing, then they're going to go ahead and have the hearing without you, and they're going to review the information they have, and if they don't agree with you, they're just going to go ahead and rubber stamp it and say this is what we think it's worth and moving on down the road. It may not be as low as what that appraiser offered you on the phone. So unless you really are just very dissatisfied with that appraiser is offering you, I suggest you take it. It's probably going to be your best bet, and in most cases the appraisal review board is a little bit less forgiving than an appraiser will be. They're probably having a hard day too, all 5 of them. So make sure that you really have a good reason to go before them if you decide to do that. Otherwise, just take what the appraiser is giving you. It's going to be easier. It's going to be less hassle for everybody. So basically, that's how you protest your property taxes. One of my goals in doing this is to demystify this process. I think a lot more people would protest their property taxes if they knew how easy it was and how much money it could really save you. I think you should do this every year, and I'm happy to help you do this. I also just want to take a second to explain why we do this. This is something that I've been doing for about 8 years, and it started when I ran into this sweet older lady who lived in the L Streets. She had me over to her house to talk to her about selling the house, and became obvious very quickly that she did not want to move. She'd been living in this house for 50 years. Her mortgage had long been paid off. Her husband had unfortunately passed, and she was on a fixed income. Meanwhile, her property taxes kept going up, and so even though she was on a fixed income and her mortgage had been paid off long ago, her monthly payment, because of taxes, was higher than what the original mortgage payment was. She couldn't afford to make the payment anymore, and she had to move because she was being priced out of her property due to property taxes. I don't think that should happen to anybody. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. It takes time out of our schedule. On average, we've found that it takes us about 6.5 minutes, all told, to run each individual protest. So that's one reason why we ask everybody to sign up again every year. We also want to make sure that we're not protesting for people or running these market analysis for people who aren't going to use them. But it takes our time, it takes our effort, and so we're able to do this because we receive referrals and business from people like you who appreciate what we do and the services that we provide. Trust me, we do this for free. If we do this much work for you for free, when we're actually getting paid to represent you, if that's any indication, we do much more work, and we work very, very hard for our clients. So if you know somebody who needs a good realtor or anybody who just wants help with their property taxes, please send them my way. I'm always happy to help. Once again, my name is Ben. I'm your Dallas Realtor, and I would love to be of assistance with anything that you need. Thanks for watching.